Sarcastic Revenge. Isn't this life sarcastic? Nah, it isn't, is it? Yes, it is! When words we hear each day just blatantly take the piss. I adopted a new strategy to use whenever I find I can. Instead of accepting sarcasm, sarcastic revenge is my plan. I was in the kitchen the other week, just buttering up some bread, when suddenly my wife appeared and smacked me on the head. In a most sarcastic tone she moaned, "Can you make any more of a mess?" So I smashed my bread plate on the floor, smiled and replied, "Yes." I was walking through the town that day, and I bumped into a man, who stopped right still and squared right up as broad as a transit van. He ground his teeth and growled the words, "Hey, do you want a smack?" So I bent his cute wife over my knee and gave her ass a whack. I escaped into a library, and I was looking for a book, when a lady stormed over, silently, her pointing finger shook. In a most sarcastic tone she moaned, "Can you make any more of a din?" So I threw a hardback at the door and kicked her out of the bin. How much joy we can obtain by taking revenge so sweet. I'd never felt more happier, more cocky and upbeat. That was until I took it too far, when the sarcasm led me to start applying it everywhere, to whatever people said. Like in the bar this Friday night, just having a drink and a dance, when a man came over by my side and took a shifty stance. "Got any coke?" he shadily whispered, looking a little unfed. So I picked my cola drink off the table and poured it on his head. Thus I ended up in hospital, much to my dismay, and injuries I suffered meant me starving for a day. So when the nurse arrived and said, "Would you like a quick bite?" I sunk my teeth into her leg, smiled and said, "I might." They drugged me up and sent me to the local prison jail. My wife was waiting for me and had paid the bill for bail. She drove me home and snapped the words, "This really has to stop." So I pulled the handbrake quickly up, and boy, she had a shock. She put me in a mental home to let me see my wrongs. There's people climbing up the walls, there's people screaming songs. But I am just not like them, so I sit alone, you see, just scrawling diary words of rhyme, while waiting to be free. Thanks very much for listening. Please comment.